We appreciate it. And call to order. Christy Fensky, Chair.
Sam Britt, Vice Chair.
Ellen Shoemaker, member.
Nate Pringle, member.
That forum. May I get adoption of the agenda?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Option approved.
There was a first.
What?
A second, okay.
Adoption of the minutes. Did everybody get a chance to look at them?
Do we,
Didn't see any changes, I looked through them.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
So can I get,
So moved.
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Awesome. Natalie?
I almost said good evening because I'm used to seeing you guys on the evening. Good afternoon, ATAC.
Hey.
This is the state accommodations tax funding for the second quarter in the fiscal, These are the requests that we have for this quarter. We have 4 applicants with a total request of $115,341. Just as a friendly reminder, with the Chamber of Commerce, they did apply at the September, but had requested to come before ATAC this quarter. And then for state ATAX for this quarter, there are $297,681 available for distribution. And we also included a lapsed grant amount of $5,338. With the budget process for the town of Bluffton, I wanted to include the local accommodations proposed budget for fiscal year 25. This is proposed, this has not been approved. It'll go for first reading before town council in May. But right now, this is what the proposed budget will look like for fiscal year 25. This is for the local accommodations tax budget. And then I'm going to go into what makes up some of the expenditures and then the other funding sources that we have transfers out for general fund and capital improvement projects. And please stop me if you have any questions along the way.
I have a question. Did you, you didn't put this in our packet, so we don't
No.
have this.
No, this is not in your packet. This is the proposed budget for 25. So this is only the second year that we have budgeted local accommodations tax funds. So in the first column, you see 24's revised budget, and then you see 25's proposed budget that will go into effect July 1st, 2024.
This, I apologize, I'm looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
This is not local ATAX money only, is it?
Yes,
Okay. And that doesn't include what they rolled from the old ATAX when they took local ATAX out of our budget.
we've always had them separate, so this is the local ATAX revenues. We've always had them separate, but we would combine them when we would present them to ATAC in the past.
So we had a balance that we were carrying for local ATAX. That was taken out of our purview for the 2024 period. And this amount would include the money that they would have carried over that used to be under our purview that wasn't.
So that would be in fund balance, yes, but we've got what's budgeted for, we show it in 24 and then for what's budgeted in 25. And I'll go through that a little bit more.
When you get a chance, it doesn't have to be now because this is the first time we've seen it, I
Yep.
believe. If we could be like,
We'll keep you guys
Yes.
informed as we progress along. It's very, very early in our budget season, but we wanted to present it to you as we know things are going along in the budget process.
thank you.
Yeah,
I'd also like just a copy of it whenever, just I'm better with paper in my hand.
yes, sure.
Thanks.
Okay, so one of the transfers out is to general fund. And so right now we're proposing $204,203 being transferred into the general fund from the local accommodations tax. It will help support our welcome center that is going to be preparing to open in January of 2025. and then also support the police services for some of the events and festivals that ATAX reviews and submits to, or recommends to town council.
This is gonna be the new Welcome Center. We're no longer gonna support the Hayward House as our Welcome Center. Is that what
We
I?
potentially could support them, but this is what we have planned for the local ATAX funds for general fund.
In lieu of or in addition to? It depends
So-
on how it works out.
This is for the local ATAX, and we have traditionally supported the Welcome Center that's been at the Hayward House with state ATAX. Yep. And then we also had a transfers out to our CIP fund. And on, let's see, the first blue column shows the local accommodations tax. So we're looking to support the Bridge Street streetscape, Calhoun Street streetscape, pathway pedestrian safety improvements, the Squire Pope Carriage House that will also hold the Welcome Center, and the Sarah Riley Hooks Cottage. And those are going to be funded with local accommodations tax for 25. That's what is proposed in the budget.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to what Sam said real quick, is that when Squire Pope House is completed, it will be our official Welcome Center.
Right.
So then that would take that label away from Hayward House at that time when it's completed, but not before then.
Right.
Just clarification.
And then in the last column is the transfer in from state accommodations tax. So there was an act that was approved for a 15% amount from both state and local accommodations tax. And we are proposing that 15% of state accommodations tax go towards our affordable housing project. So that's why you see those two columns in there.
But none from local.
Not in our CIP. We are proposing 15% from the local accommodations tax to support items in our general fund for our neighborhood assistance program and our regional housing trust that we have currently going on.
What happens if the affordable housing project doesn't get approved, or it doesn't go all the way through? I mean, I'm sure it's going to, but what if it doesn't?
This is an approved project, and so we're recommending that state accommodations tax, the 15%, go towards this project because we already have it underway, rather than having to wait for a project that may not come on board because there's a sunset with this act.
Okay, so, different question. That wasn't what I was asking. What I'm asking is, I know that it's approved through Town of Bluffton, but doesn't have to get approved by the state first.
For,
To use the 15% for affordable housing?
there's a housing analysis that needs to be approved in a plan. So we have a timeline for that to go before town council and our planning commission. So while this isn't approved yet, there's still some steps that it has to go through, but this is the plan and the proposal for those funds.
And do we know the location of this? Is it private?
It is 1095 May River Road. Did I say it wrong again? Yes, 1095 May River Road.
Are the crabs still placed? Thank you.
Okay. And then this talks about that act. It went into effect May 19th. We can't dedicate more than 15%. And it is available from both the local and state accommodations tax funds. As noted, there is a sunset, so it will expire on December 31st in 2030. And it's not proposed to go towards traditional housing costs. And we're proposing the local accommodations tax to support our neighborhood assistance program and the regional housing trust fund. And then on the state side, as mentioned before, that 15% going towards the affordable housing project at 1095 Mid River Road. That's all that I have.
And this, just real quick, this is a proposal? and
This is
y'all
the
just
proposal.
Starting on it,
Yes.
and we will get better
Yes, as we progress, yes, yeah. Some of the CIP projects may change, like as far as funding, the amounts and everything, as we solidify the budget, we will absolutely keep you informed.
Yeah, just,
It being the first time we got to saw it.
Yep.
I have seen it.
Yes, especially in this format. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anything to add to, updates on application policies? Old business?
Okay, so this is.
Okay. New business. So, Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber of Commerce.
Good afternoon. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ariana Pernice. I'm with the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for the opportunity to present and also move our presentation out. I do apologize. It was myself who asked for the extension. I had unfortunately some health issues and I had to undergo surgery. So I am back and ready at 100%. So this request is on behalf of our organization. I also have my colleague Ray Deal, who is our controller here, as well as other colleagues of our organization who support the town of Bluffton day in and day out. We're here requesting the amount of $45,000 for our official vacation planner for 2024. As you can see, the 2024 vacation planner is a dedicated book to the town of Bluffton and surrounding areas. And that was a project that we started a few years back with Mayor Lisa Sulka and the town staff at the time. And it has continued forward and only grown in popularity. It has done a wonderful job from our lens on representing the destination and bringing visitors a first look at what so many people love, why they love Bluffton and why they call it home. And so it's been a wonderful opportunity to work so closely with the town and the town staff on what is it that they love about the town of Bluffton and what are we going to bring forward to the visitors. So the program request amount that we're requesting is $45,000. The duration of when we work on the project, it carried us from July 1st, 23 through the end of December, 31st, 2023, apologize for that. In market time frame, it runs the duration of this calendar year, January through December, and the total units produced were 30,000, and that's 30,000 of these books. And where do you see these books? You see them throughout all of our South Carolina welcome centers, through our airports at the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport, as well as the Hilton Head Airport, all AAA offices, and those are requested on a regular basis. Our chamber offices, both here in Bluffton and on Hilton Head Island. Anytime that a interested visitor or potential visitor is inquiring about Bluffton, they may pick up a phone, they might write an email, they might walk in, and we fulfill that upon their request. We take them to all of our media events, or when media is seeking information about Bluffton, we send this book along. And this is also a digital version, and so we can send it to them digitally as well. And we take them to all of our trade shows. When we work alongside the town to understand the community and the community's wants for what this book represents, we have identified, and this piece of information is actually pulled through not only this lookbook or this coffee table book that we have here, but it's also pulled through our marketing efforts as a whole. So when you look at our marketing plan, when you look at the imagery that we use when we promote the destination, our social media, our digital ads, these core areas of focus are what we're promoting day in and day out, but really take center stage in the book, because that's really our foundational piece that we have in market that sets the tone for the rest of our efforts. So again, in partnership with the town and the community, we have identified the Gullah Geechee Cultural Heritage Corridor, history, culture, and arts as a whole, National Historic Register designation, natural beauty, our waterways and parks, local culinary and local market experiences, festivals, and events. So as you browse through this book, whether physically or online to the digital version, you'll see that represented, each one of those areas represented here within that book. I thought it was important. How do we showcase that today during our request? Really, when you're flipping through, there are very vivid and bright images that are being brought to you that are all from the town of Bluffton. You're seeing that we worked closely with the town to understand the historical pieces that we wanted to pull forward, almost as if someone were to be walking through the town, and you can see that Bluffton by Design piece there. Councilwoman Bridget Frazier, we have intricate stories about what she's developing with Mauve Daisies and the Gullah Heritage Center that she'll be bringing forward. Hidden Treasures, which has represented great pieces within that, and thank you so much for that insight, as well as Eating Local. We've talked deeply about the opportunity there as well. So that was just a snapshot of what we've been able to do. The 45,000 does bring forward the actual production of the book. And we've brought Ray in as well to ask any of the financial questions that you have, but it really is dealing with just the actual production of the book. And we'd be happy to answer any questions beyond that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No questions.
Oh, I do.
You got a few questions.
Sure, yes.
So, and forgive me, because sometimes things run together. You guys had done your DMO presentation to us back in,
I haven't done the DMO presentation for this coming fiscal year as of yet. We'll be doing that in a few weeks.
the one for the current year, y'all presented to us at what time frame last year?
Wait, it's March, and now they have to keep me on, it's March, yeah.
It's always
May?
the
Okay.
first quarter.
It's due in March, and then we present in May.
And this was an integral part of that presentation at the time, correct? That y'all were gonna do this book at that time?
Right, and this is our third year in doing the book, so it just is now a part of our efforts in total. So, yes, this is a part of our overall marketing efforts that we do and that we propose.
And different than the thing y'all did, like, it seems like it was 5 or 6 years ago when y'all did that special, very nuanced thing. Was it Gun Guard that y'all came in and did? And it was a very special, very targeted for our area.
Exactly.
We did it after the fact, but this was a part of your original DMO efforts when you presented to us at the first quarter or so of last year, correct?
Exactly. So this book here is a part of our own DMO Town of Bluffton asset. So this, the visitbluffton.org website, our digital and social ads, all the ones that we produce on behalf of being your DMO and promoting you in the out markets for tourism. So this is not a partnership with anyone like a Gardening Gun or a Condé Nast. This is an annual book that we produce to represent the destination.
Okay,
I'll finish what I need to, go ahead.
so if this is already part, I don't,
Yes.
just confused why we're asking for more money when you already get.
It's a great question, and that's where we have Ray Deal.
Okay, so for the record, my name is Ray Deal. I'm controller at the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. So this ask, before I answer your question specifically, last June or July, our chamber used to receive local accommodation taxes, 8% of the local aid tax, which was roughly $150,000. So what happened was in this fiscal year, instead of budgeting around $500,000 or so for aid tax, and that's both state aid tax and local aid tax, our budget was cut by about $150,000. So essentially we went from 500-ish to 350. So essentially, yes, we have paid for this book, but this is a little bit of a, I guess, a clawback just to get the town of Bluffton specifically a portion of the payment back for the book costs about $138,000. So we're just, and we're not asking for any of the pages that are paid for ads. It's just the Bluffton and the Beaufort County related ads. So that equals about $45,000. Because again, the entire cost of the book is plus fulfillment on top of the cost of the book is about $138,000.
You guys came to us, presented us a DMO plan, first quarter of last year. The parameters of your funding changed?
Yes, sir.
At about the third quarter of last year from our side?
Yes.
And then this was just to something that was in your plan that was unfunded once those changes occurred, and y'all just trying to make up that shortfall?
That's exactly what happened,
Is that
yes.
fair?
Yes, basically the rules of the game changed a little bit as far as our budget goes, and when we presented to you, we didn't know that we were gonna lose all the A-tax, the local A-tax at that time. Yep.
I'm not that pure. You
Okay, so then the ones in the book that, say Heart of the Low Country are the ones that are not paid for, or they are paid for? Because not all of them have the Heart of Low Country written on it, I see.
So the way to determine if it's an ad or not an ad, or if it's editorial or advertorial, is if they have a phone number, website URL, and a social handle. So as an example, page 30, Hilton Head National Golf, or on the page next to it, Palmetto Axes, those are paid ads. But then if you were to turn to page, going back forward to page 14, that piece about Gullah Experience and Ma Daisy's Porch, that is not, as well as City Treasures, is not as in this particular page of the book. Nor is page 67. So the way where we're determining ads is if we put their contact information in there.
And the same thing goes with the website, is that correct?
The website is, we're not asking for funding for that, but correct, the website is a standalone.
It's just me doing my research, I'm trying to.
No problem, yeah. So the visitbluffton.org is the piece that we produce and make sure that's maintained on behalf of being the DMO. However, there are ads sold within the site that help offset the cost of maintaining that site every day. Correct. Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Everybody scored, Jack?
Well, I have. Okay, may I have a motion?
I would make a motion to approve the requested amount of $45,000 for the Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber of Commerce for the official Bluffton Vacation Planner.
I second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, approved. All right. Next will be the Gala Traveling Theater.
Hello. Good to see you all. Thanks for having me back. I got an email before last week's meeting to not prepare anything, but come prepared to answer questions.
Perfect, yep.
That's what I was told, so I followed those directions.
Perfect.
I'm here. When I was here the last time, you all loved the presentation and the concept, and you wanted a schedule of scheduled dates, which we did include in the updated packet, and now we're here.
So I've got a quick question. So you guys indicated that you had done a performance in January 21st of this year?
Right.
And that was as part of?
That was a request by the bookseller. The Storybook Shop is one of your local businesses, and they asked if we might be willing to come and perform and help them kind of a day early, kick off Black History Month. And so we did agree to do that.
And that was open to the public and?
It was.
Was it announced? Because we were all talking, I didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so we went on and did that. They had hoped that we would have already been resolved this before that, but it didn't work out that way. But yes, we still had the event. It was a good event, very good turnout. I think we had 15 cast members. It wasn't a full performance, but it was singing and storytelling and narratives. The book that they featured was about Black farming in the area and farmers markets. And so we partnered with the bookstore, the farmers market. People came and did a display, and so we promoted the farmers market and did storytelling and things. And then there was a catered meal that people could buy food, gumbo and things like that, low country fare. So yeah, it turned out very well.
And I see your meeting here with us last time was very fruitful in that you.
Everybody met with us afterwards. Everybody met with us afterwards. The other groups that were here offered to partner with us. So we have negotiated with the May River Theater group, and we're doing 3 shows for them in July. So we're excited about that. And then what we're trying to do, what we're talking about with the Christmas people that you all, was it Christmas under Stars Under Bluffton or something like that it was. So we suggested to them that perhaps if we worked together and marketed some things around what they were already doing, that maybe it would create more heads in beds kind of thing, and it would give people a chance to stay longer, to come earlier and stay longer. And so there are going to be performances as well as the Gullah Christmas African Marketplace, and they're talking about a performance as a part of the Under the Stars as well, so that it'll be a whole, I don't know if it'll be 3 or 4 days or 2 or 3 days, but something like that, that there would be like a trio of days where there are activities going on throughout. So that's what we were looking at. And that's at a minimum. I have to tell you, much too much of the staff's chagrin, Aunt Pearlie Sue is always open to collaborate and partnerships. So this is putting before you the minimum that we have planned now, but there isn't a time where we go out and perform that someone doesn't ask us, can you come do something else? And I have to say, the answer is usually yes. And we just try to take really good notes and somebody whisper to somebody, hey, put that on our calendar. Because eventually we'll find out about it, or that's what the cast says. And so this would be the minimum. And we also hope that it's a kind of a year one investment. We're hoping that from here, we can go to a much broader scale.
So you be aware that you can come back and ask for additional funding as you guys get stuff. I would say that I believe we encouraged you guys at your last meeting to call staff.
Yes.
Town to get some guidance on how to present your tax proposal, because in yours, I saw a lot of stuff that was requested that isn't eligible, just so you guys are aware that we can fund what we can fund.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Did you talk to staff about this in that time period?
So we didn't talk directly with the staff, except that we negotiated through May River for the things for the May River. Maybe I was a little bit confused. I thought those instructions were for the next application submission. I thought our instructions for this one was just bring us a calendar.
Yeah, so I apologize, that's so number one, you bring us a calendar with events was definitely one of your directives, but also as you guys go forth,
yes,
continue, just understand that staff really
Right.
understands how to do this and can
Right.
give you a lot of guidance on how to help you with the application to be more successful.
And I absolutely have plans for that, but as I was working on it, I kept reminding myself that you told me not to change anything but the calendar, so I didn't change anything but the calendar for this time.
Okay. Any
I'm
other-
really, unfortunately, this works sometimes good and bad, really good at following directions, as I understand them. And so you just said, do this for here and then do this going forward. So I did this for here.
Perfect. Does anybody have any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You need to talk to her before you leave.
This lady?
I thought the same thing.
I'll get your card and maybe you'll give me yours and I'll give you mine.
Okay. May I have a motion?
Can I sit? I think I'm.
Oh, I thought we already did that. Oh, of course, please. Okay. May I have a motion?
I would guess I would make the motion to, thank you. I got the wrong one, I apologize. I would make the motion to approve the eligible expenses in the application for Gullah Traveling Theater Incorporated, Gullah Can Come to Bluffton. That total amount that's eligible for tax funding would be $9,750.
Can I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion?
I just want to say, I think it would be a great event, and hopefully those folks can get together and work with staff and, of course, our other festivals that we have in town and become a regular part of what we see here in Bluffton.
That's our plan.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Good job. Thank you. Larry, would you like to come up for the rest of the meeting? Kidding. We are now at Old Town Bluffton Merchant Society. Mary O'Neill.
So, do you have any questions? I don't know if you noticed, but in the budget, we left a lot of money that obviously we never end up with at the end of the year, but we hope to bring in, 21,000 and then 9,600. And I did put for 6 months for those ads, and since right now I don't have a new, website, I'm glad I just put 6 months. I was very conservative. So we would be bringing in 30,600. And that leaves us money at the end of the year because as everything's going up, and now that I don't have our new website, I'm not real sure what we're doing. So, in fact, you know, if you looked at those numbers, in case you were questioning, well, these didn't add up. I just wanted a little pocket of money at the end to make sure we could cover all expenses, since every time you turn around, everything seems to be going up in advertising.
My only question is that you did kind of hit on the head that we authorize umpteen dollars each year for you guys, and it seems like a portion of it gets spent in unexpendable. So you're looking now at a 6 month kind of a budget to.
Oh, no, this is our yearly budget.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's for the year.
So you're asking for,
28.5 from you all.
so, and that's double of last year.
Correct, because now we have more members, so we're bringing in more income, so I can ask for more, so we can advertise more. In the past, we only had 50 members, so we're up to 70, and with all the new, since I was kicked out of my shop, we now have the Charleston Shoe Company there. I mean, there's businesses coming in all over.
Right.
So I told them that that was part of the deal. They had to join Old Town Bluffton Merchants if they were going to take my space, so.
I'm sure you made that happen too.
And 100% of your request is for advertising.
Yep.
Any other questions? May I have a motion, please?
I move that we approve the budget, requested by the, 28,500, requested, by the town of Bluffton, as a or merchant society.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Well, I know, I thought I already gave this in, but I guess I did too. I don't know.
As long as they say the same thing, you're good.
I'm sure they do. Sure they do. All right, so, Mayfest.
So again, we're going to try to bring more tourists in. And we did, since we were talking about the vacation planner, that is right now, our budget covers this for our out-of-town advertising besides digital with the other print ads. We could expand it. I was very conservative, again, asking for, more money, because we only proved that we got 23% were tourists last year. Could there have been more? Possibly. We did it on the shuttle. Not everybody takes the shuttle, but that's still the easiest way that we can collect zip codes.
You can hire someone like me who knows everybody in town to go down there. If I see someone I don't recognize,
Then
ask them.
Okay, you're hired.
We just happened to be at the Seafood Festival in Hilton Head this weekend, and literally, we talked to people who came for the festival they had and worked their way around it, but it was me and, of all people, Chris Corcoran standing there, and we figured, we don't know that person, let's talk to them. And it really was a bunch of tourists.
Oh.
But we didn't talk to the people we knew.
Definitely tourists come for our festivals here in Bluffton too.
The number seems low, especially in these days, because when I go down to that festival, it's not like the old days when we walk down the street and knew everybody.
Well, when you walk in a restaurant, Mike and I always used to say, we knew everybody. You walk in any of our places now, you don't know one person in there, so, which is a good thing for Bluffton, but anyway. And I totally feel that Rotary's Mayfest and the Seafood Festival and Old Town Bluffton Merchants, we've really worked hard to bring those tourists in, and then a lot of people buy homes here too.
Okay. Any other questions? May I get a motion?
I move that we accept, Bluffton Rotary Club request for 15,000.
I second.
Any discussion?
I would say that I know that you only get a percentage of the facilities, but it is an eligible expense. But you do have to prove that. I don't know if that's why you didn't ask for that part of
We
it.
did ask for shuttles though, but we'd only get like 23% to pay for that.
But that's tourist transportation. I don't see that in your request. But I saw in your request, and you are eligible for
Sure, I
that.
said shuttles.
Okay. So you would be eligible for the percentage of both the facilities for cultural events and for the shuttles, which was an additional $10,000 to your requested amount, which I believe came from off of your paperwork of $15,000.
15,000 was also for shuttles. Yeah, how were the funds used, advertising and shuttles, that was from last year, and yeah.
gotta vote on that one before we can make a new one.
Okay. All those in favor of 15,000, say aye. Any opposed? Do I have a new motion?
I would make the motion that since they're eligible for additional, expenses and amounts, that in addition to the 15,000 for advertising, that we include the $5,000 for facilities for cultural events, along with the 5,000 requested for tourist transportation, for a total of 25,000.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Yay, congratulations, Mary.
Thanks. Wow, I don't, you'll have to explain all this to me later, because I didn't quite get that.
Bill, I'll be in trouble in a little while, don't worry about it.
Okay, so, I just have a question real quick before we, adjourn. What position is open on our committee?
We have, it's a hospitality seat. So we might have an applicant hopefully this week. So that's the open seat.
Perfect, that's what I needed to know. Does anybody have anything to add to this meeting? Can I get a motion to adjourn? Yay, let's adjourn. Yay.